I was doing some walking on Sunday, and I would go to the areas where I saw Romney and Yoder signs, and I saw a Yoder sign on the corner. Talked to a guy, turns out he was a Democrat, and he's going to be supporting Kevin. And as I got to talk to him, he asked me if I was a Republican. He kind of gave me this, I don't know about that. But we got to talking. We talked about job creation. We talked about education, having a world-class education system for our kids, and government efficiency. And then he went ahead to tell me about all the things that he believed in socially. And I think he kind of came to the conclusion that he might just be a Republican. So I left there with two signs in his yard, one on each side, right next to Kevin's. So I was very happy about that.
You know, one of the things that we recognize is that our country is really at a crossroads right now, our country and our state, and how our liberty is truly at stake. I never thought that I would need to teach my children about how communism can take over in a country. And yet we're seeing this today in so many of the policies that this president is putting forward. One of the things that I have been very concerned with in the Kansas Senate is our health care and our health care freedom. I've pushed for 4 years a Kansas Health Care Freedom Amendment to protect the liberty of Kansas citizens in regards to their health care.
Since Brownback has been governor, the state of Kansas has produced private sector jobs, and we've actually slowed the growth of government. It's never been done before, and we take so much pressure about, we're trying to hurt schools, we're trying to hurt Medicaid. Actually, since the 2 years that I've been in the legislature, we've increased school funding every single year. The 2 prior years under Democrat control, they decreased school funding each year because they couldn't control spending. They brought the state to the cliff. The only way to cut in a hurry was schools.
I guess as a former Democrat who switched to Republican and is now trying to keep my seat, really it's about selling the message of why working class people and older retired folks that don't live out in the suburbs, that live in the inner city and the old suburbs, why they should consider voting for a Republican message, why they should support conservative ideas. And actually in Wyandotte County, it is saleable. We are known for our high property taxes and high utility rates, and I focus on those issues, and a lot of people's heads nod, just like the ones I see nodding in this room. Right. And when we talk about overspending and overborrowing in the local unified government, a lot of people connect that message with, well, maybe that we should in Wyandotte County have an alternative to the 40-year dominance that the Democrats have had over there.
I do have the chair of the Democratic Party running against me. Right. He is definitely out there and using all of his Democratic resources for people with signs, with phone calls, etc. They're really trying to paint a picture that I do not represent the Senate district. And my take on that is, you look at the last 7 years and you look at my votes. And if you think I haven't represented it, then you vote against me. If you think I have represented it, then you need to vote for me. So I did have a conversation this morning with a newspaper person, and they said, well, Kay, what makes you a Republican? And I said, well, because you know what? I'm for smaller government, less taxes, and jobs. And that's the difference between me and a Democrat.
We need to recognize that we're in truly historic times. We are in the midst of a conservative revolution in the state. We have the governor's office, we're going to have the Senate, we're going to have the House, and we're also going to have a state party, a county party, a national party that all works together. And Clay mentioned a little bit earlier that I'd given him a check, and this is going to be public information, so I don't consider this. I'll share with you. Those of us that are unopposed are going to be contributing to the state party. I gave Clay a check for $5,000 out of my campaign account that will go to help some of those races across the state that need help.
These are exciting times. Stop and think about it. Senate District 21 didn't exist in its current form like it does now. It is, if I'm not mistaken, the largest geographic Senate district contained within Johnson County. It runs from Metcalf all the way to the city limits of DeSoto. It's huge. and it's an open seat, and there's a Democrat family that has ties to the party that go way, way back that have their eye on it, and they would like nothing more than to knock us off and take that seat for the Democratic Party. And I'm not going to let it happen.
That's right. Yes.
And I'm not going to let it happen because you guys are out there and you're helping me. You're the engine that makes the campaign work. You're the people behind me that make me have the confidence when I step up on a door to be able to espouse Republican principles and talk to people. And much like Jeff was talking about, I had a conversation with a lady just a few days ago, and she was happy about the tax cut. She was happy about my stand on schools. She was happy that I was an educator in the public school system. And we talked about all these things, and she looked at me and she goes, I thought I was a Democrat. And she found out she wasn't. She won't put my sign in her yard because she won't tell her husband that she's really not a Democrat. But she's out there and she's talking about me, and I appreciate it.
When we get to the Kansas Senate, and I believe all of us that have talked with you today will be there, we must continue this teamwork. And because this is a phenomenal slate. I have never seen such unity among the candidates in the House and in the Senate. And it has done nothing but energize our base, because they see us out there and they see these packets of lit that come together and they go, oh, these people must be all of the same stripe. Well, I don't know about this person, but if Senator Lynn's literature is in there, then this person has my vote. And I'll tell you, that's smart. When we get to the Senate, we are challenged to lead.